Listening to the Career Musician Podcast with creator and host, Nomad. With 20 plus years of experience in the music industry, Nomad has done just about everything to earn a living as a career musician. From being music director to celebrity artists, playing iconic arenas and stadiums, composing for film and TV, and even playing your average local club gigs, he's done it all. Nomad's mission is to empower musicians across the globe with strategies for a sustainable career while blasting stereotypes, and to bring you tried and true wisdom from his colleagues in this crazy business we call music.
On this episode of the Career Musician Podcast, we have Nicole Row, bassist for Panic at the Disco. Now, Nicole hails from Northern California, but she came down to LA to make her dreams come true, attending MI, the Musicians Institute, for a little while, and then literally getting her feet wet in the LA music scene. It didn't take that long for her to lock in with some of the biggest names in the biz, like Fat Joe, Ty Dolla $ign, and Miley Cyrus. Listen to Nicole talk about pursuing and living her dream as a career musician. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Career Musician Podcast with Nicole Row.
Hey.
Hey, Nicole.
What's going on?
I'm so stoked to have you.
I'm super stoked to be here. Yeah.
And so tonight, technically, this will air later on, but this is a Friday night, and we're both sitting here in our quarantined spaces, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
home.
And we're having a nice, home. We're having a nice little cocktail. Salute.
Salute.
So what are you drinking this evening, Nicole?
I'm drinking Moose Drool beer. Yeah. If I can be honest, I was going to have some whiskey, but my friends like to say that I get like a little spicy when I drink whiskey. So I was like, maybe not. I don't know how long we're going to be doing this. You know, like how much I'll have. I got to be careful. So yeah, Moose Drool beer. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Is it a particular brew from any area that you're fond of?
So this is, yes, actually. So this is Montana beer. And a lot of my family live there and are from there. So it was kind of like something that was introduced to me.
Very nice.
Yeah, significant.
Speaking of family, you're originally from Fresno?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Fresno. Okay, so that's like Central Valley, California. Not like the LA Valley as we know, right? It's a little further north.
Right. San Fernando Valley, LA Valley, yeah.
Yeah. It's probably snowed there. I mean, as far as I know, one time. It's not really, it's very dry. It's like farmland, really close to like Yosemite.
Beautiful country. Yeah.
I couldn't wait to leave, but now I like love visiting, you know.
Isn't that amazing how when we're younger, we take for granted where we grew up?
Yeah, of course.
But as we get older, we realize how amazing it is.
Yeah. Has all like the sentimental value for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us, when did you come to Los Angeles? And I know you studied at Musicians Institute here in Hollywood. Tell us about that. So leaving Fresno and realizing, okay, I'm going to do this for real. I'm going to go down to LA and I'm going to get serious.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a very, it's all kind of blurry. Like I remember it happening, but it happened so fast. I was like, I'm just going to do this. Like, I didn't know anybody else who was doing it. And I was like, kind of didn't even know what music school would be like. And I had really not been playing bass very long, but, I'd been into music like my whole life. And my brother at the time actually like discovered MI. And he like, was like, this is the shit, I'm going to go here. And
now your brother was the drummer, right?
Yeah.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a drummer. So yeah, like little rhythm section duo.
Nice.
Yeah, so he was going to move, and then I was about to graduate high school. So my plan, like, you know, from the time I was like, 14 or something, and I hated living at home, I was like, I'm going to leave right when I graduate. So I applied to MI, and, you know, just like right after I graduated, I took off. And I remember just like telling all my friends, yeah, I'm moving to LA, and I'm just going to, you know, go to school for music and do this. And they were like, huh? Like, what does that even mean?
They must have thought you were crazy, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
So how did that play out?
I mean, it worked out, you know. I like moved here and went to school and, you know, spent a lot of, honestly, like a lot of my like first few years here just kind of like partying because I was really young, you know, getting a fake ID and like doing that whole thing.
And that's normal.
Yeah. Any college kid, it's fine.
Absolutely.
And then, God, yeah, I just started picking up gigs like, you know, at school, and just kind of graduated, and eventually it just sort of like happened. Just kind of.
So you did the 2-year program at MI?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your focus? What was your major?
Oh, bass.
Performance?
Like bass performance, yeah.
Bass performance. Okay. And then as you're studying there, you're getting immersed in the local scene.
Yes. Very
so
much.
let's talk about this. Imagine there's some young folks living in the middle of the United States or in another country across the globe, and they're thinking, you know, they're 16, 17, 18, and they're thinking, or even in their early 20s, I want to go to MI, but I don't know what to expect. What was that experience like? Because like you said, you told all your friends back home, hey, I'm going to do this. And to be honest, I mean, forgive part of my French, but that takes some cojones.
Yeah. I like have like intense memories of like telling people, and like that weird feeling you get of just like, I know what you're thinking. You're not saying it. Yeah. So yeah, that, I mean.
So what's that like? You know, can you tell people what to expect or what they should do?
And actually a lot of people reach out to me with this question because they're afraid, you know, it's like you're crossing the country, going somewhere new, somewhere like LA of all places. Right. Yeah.
The Mecca.
Not only was it like, you know, studying something with people that I didn't even know existed. Like I had no idea there were so many other people kind of in the same world as me, I guess. I don't know why. And, you know, having to like find my own apartment when I was like 18, you know, and like getting another job to pay rent and like.
Nicole, those are huge situations that you have to deal with.
But like, you just kind of like, I was so excited for school, like this whole drastic change that it was all just easy, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, me and my dog just moved out, and I had this like, this terrible apartment, so bad. Oh my God, it like flooded. There was cockroaches. There was a gas leak. I had a stalker who lived below me, putting mail.
What part of town?
Writing plays about me and putting them in my mailbox.
What? What part of town was that?
It was Hollywood. I probably shouldn't say this because kids and their parents are going to be like, no, you can't go now. It was Cherokee and Hollywood Boulevard.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, all in all, it was good times, you know, it kind of like made me like a little bit tougher and.
So there's a term, and there's a term, we call it mileage, and it just means that you've been around and you've experienced things, you know?
Yeah.
And do you remember the movie Crossroads?
Oh, yeah.
With Ralph Macchio and Steve Vai,
I haven't seen that in so long, yes.
And that's what the blues guy, the old blues guy says to him, oh man, you got some mileage on you, you got to put some mileage. And that's what I always think of. And basically what he's saying is, you have to learn by experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's just what you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess.
I mean, kudos to you for taking the bull by the horns and being so proactive. That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on it, I can't believe I wasn't really like completely terrified, but.
Right.
You know, if you want something.
Right. See, but your love of music and your love of the instrument persevered then. That was the.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the key factor.
Yeah, that's where I had to, like, I mean, you know, there's lots of great schools and lots of places all over the world to do it, but, you know, that's not really what I was concerned about. It was just a matter of, like, as quickly as I could, like getting somewhere where I could just apply it and do it, you know?
Right.
So
Did you know you wanted to be a touring and session bassist early on, or did that kind of evolve over time?
I had no idea what I wanted to do. You know, I just knew that I liked playing bass. And I think my whole life I kind of didn't know. But it was just like, that was like the thing that I liked. And it was sort of always like, yeah, I'll always be doing something in music. And then when it became bass, it became much more serious. And even like years into my musical career, I didn't know what I wanted for my long-term future. You know?
Really?
Yeah. It's constantly changing. You know, touring just kind of happened, and it was like super, super fun, you know?
Yeah.
It was a great thing that happened. And, you know, I'm always just kind of diving into different things and growing in like different weird ways. Yeah.
That's awesome. So excited for you. It's so exciting. So I think the whole concept here is I want to encourage people out there that, you know what, if you have a passion, a dream, just follow, just go with it and do it, right?
Yeah.
And you are the epitome of that. I mean, seriously,
yeah.
have you taken stock of everything you've accomplished and how you had a proactive approach and it really worked out for the better? Have you sat back and said, wow, I did
absolutely.
this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely like think that it didn't just happen, you know, just on accident.
Right.
Like I do think that, you know, I worked really hard, and I always like stayed like just in my direction, you know what I mean? Like you have people kind of try to come in your life and like waver you in different directions, but I just kind of like, I definitely know that that's a thing, and that should be, you know, I should respect that, you know, about my life. But it also just still feels kind of crazy, and like, you know, like even sitting here talking to you, having an interview like this, you know, like a mic here, still it just feels like, I don't know, so crazy and like kind of beautiful, you know?
Amen to that. I love that.
Yeah.
And you and I were texting back and forth earlier, or emailing, and you said, yeah, believe it or not, I love talking into a microphone. That's so funny, because I can relate.
Yeah.
I think as creative beings, we all enjoy that. We enjoy being heard, quote unquote, right?
Yeah. I don't know what it is about the microphone thing. It's just like this weird, like relaxing thing for me. I like did an interview a while back, and it was like I went to this girl's house and she gave me these like nice headphones, and it was just like, you know, like NPR, like you hear every little thing in your ears, and it's just like the most relaxing thing. Yeah.
I agree. All right. So you came out here, you hit MI, you got immersed in the scene, and I read something that you were talking to one of your bass player friends, Frank Abrams, who is a local amazing bassist as well.
Yes.
And he told you, look, get out there and face your fears, put yourself in it, and do it. So if it means going to a jam session and you're shitting your pants thinking, oh my gosh, I can't keep up with the cats on stage, quote unquote, do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then once you do it, you get over it, right?
Yes, which is what you tell everybody with stage fright, right? Like, it's just exposure. But yeah, that
So
applies.
did you actually have stage fright in the beginning?
Oh, fuck yeah,
or?
of course. I mean, yeah, I think I've always had stage fright, you know? It's just sort of like, it kind of morphs, you know, into like all these different things. It's like with going to jams and stuff. I remember when I first went to jams, and where I met Frank Abraham, and it was like seeing him and like all these just gnarly players up there. I was like, oh shit, like I gotta like just watch and absorb and go practice. And like that was kind of like how I was, you know, taking it in. And finally he was just like, no, that's not how this works. Get the fuck up on stage. And he's just kind of like, I remember what he said. What did he say? The gigs will come kind of thing. And that's really like resonated with me, of just like chill, have fun, you know, do your thing. It's fine. Like everything, it's just life. Like it's not a big deal. And ever since I kind of stuck with that, things just really started to blossom in a really cool way.
So true. I'm sorry to keep harping on this, but I just want everybody who might be listening to understand that if you live in a town where it's not, quote unquote, a music city, like New York, Nashville, Chicago, LA, Atlanta, etc.
Yeah.
and you're nervous because you know you have to get to a music city, but you don't know quite how to do it, I want to just tell you, just do it, right?
Yeah.
I think if there's anything to be learned from this, like you did, you just did it.
Yeah. Nike.
That's so awesome. All right, so let's get to the nitty gritty. So let's talk about resume credits.
Oh God. Okay.
Right now you have been the bassist for Panic at the Disco for the past
Like two years, maybe just
2 years.
over. Yeah.
Prior to that, you were with Miley Cyrus.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how your resume evolved. From so you go to MI, you graduate, and then all of a sudden, like, what's next?
Okay. So this is kind of a funny story. I mean, like, not everything I did was really exciting, but
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. So I graduated. I was just doing like local, gigs with people I'd gone to school with, like in Hollywood. And then all of a sudden I got called for this, like, those Vegas gigs where you're out there all the time and you're like, it's like a cover band and it's late into the night and it's just chaos, right? And I got the call.
And you can make some good bucks, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. The money's cool. It's just it's in Vegas, so it's like not home.
It's a hassle.
Yeah. So I got called for that, and the guy, the drummer, band leader, was like, "So can you also sing? Because I'm looking for a bass player who can sing lead." And I had never done that before. I was like, "Yeah, of course, I can sing lead and harmony." He's like, "What?"
What ifs? I got this shit.
So then I sat down and I learned how to do that in my bedroom. And
all right, hold on. Let's unpack that, because I was just interviewing somebody else, and his take on it, and he's an orchestrator and guitarist for Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
Carl Ridlin, and he said,
Yes.
"I'm in the business of selling yes."
Yeah.
And that's what you just did. So this dude, this MD calls you and says, "Yo, can you do X, Y, Z?" And you're like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
I think that's like the biggest MO of musicians. We have to just learn how to say yes and then figure it the fuck out, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, because when would I have ever? There's just so many things, that like maybe I just didn't realize that I wanted to do or like got into ever, and I always used to sing. Like I've always been singing. It wasn't like I just decided to sing on that day, but playing bass and singing is a very different thing. So
serious syncopation and separation.
Yeah, it's like, can I even do it? Yeah, it's that.
I don't know if I could
but
do
like
it
way
either.
harder. And then like dance, like do like, so.
Oh, and then dance on top of
and
it,
then
right?
dance and then sing. No, just kidding.
Damn.
No,
it's for real. Yeah.
So so I said yes, and then I learned how to do it, and then the first gig I showed up and it was like, I realized now I actually have to do it, and it's terrifying. And I got through it. Like I struggled hard, but I got through it, and then eventually it got easy, plus all the Vegas Jägermeister, and just made it easy. So
hey, that's good stuff.
So yeah, that was that. And then
how long did you do that? Did you do that Vegas gig?
It was like 2 years I was doing that.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so you really cut your teeth.
Yeah, I knew a lot of pop tunes. I knew a lot.
See, but I think a lot of musicians, especially the ones who want to be artists in their own right, I don't think they understand the value of that. Like you learned how to, by playing those pop tunes for 2 years, you learned how to fucking write, craft, produce a pop song.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even subconsciously.
Yeah, you're right.
If you're playing The Weeknd and you're playing Dua Lipa and you're playing Ariana Grande and you're playing Charlie Puth and you're playing, 2 Chainz every night for 2 years, that right? Don't you think that stuff is sinking in?
Yeah, maybe I should try to write some hits,
I think you should. I think you should. You got it in you.
Yeah, it's probably there. I mean, shit.
I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're probably right. It benefited me a lot. It didn't make me like the happiest person, like the gig itself, it wasn't like what I wanted to do, but I learned a lot, and then I left. And then I think like when I finally decided to like quit, I didn't have anything else because I was always in Vegas. I couldn't really, I wasn't like able to work that much in LA. So I was unable to find like enough stuff to kind of fall back on financially. But then like the day before I quit, I got a call for an audition, and then I quit, and then I drove home that night after I quit and did the audition the next morning, and then I got my first tour gig. Like that.
Which was?
It was this singer, her name was Kaya Stewart. Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics, you know him? Yeah, it was his daughter. So
wow.
Yeah, we did some like real low key like van life touring, which was my first time doing that, which was, it is what it is, you know?
Tell us about that. Tell us. Do tell.
Well, luckily I was with like some amazing, really cool people, so it was easy. But, you know, you're in a van and you're just driving for hours and you're bored and you're rooming with your bandmates, which I think was the first time that I started to realize that being a female made people concerned about how to treat me, which is kind of funny because, like, you know, none of that, like, matters really, but they'd be like, are you okay, like, sharing a room with these guys? So I could lean on this and be like, no. But, you know, I didn't do that.
No, I need my own suite at the Four Seasons.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, you know, rest stops and gas stations and all that. It's just,
truck stops, man.
Yeah.
Come on. That's road life to the fullest.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful cloudy skies. Like,
yeah, that's when you're living.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Just like headphones in. You can't fall asleep or else someone's going to mess with you. Just, you know, all the staples. You got to like hold in your body functions because you're all cramped in one small thing. That's a fun one that people don't talk about a lot. Boys too. When you're boys,
guys are disgusting.
Guys. Yeah, I don't.
Guys are disgusting.
Your bodies are different. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it is true. And I will tell you this. My wife. So when I met my wife and I told her, I said, babe, I love you and I always want you to have the best image of me.
Yeah.
So because of that, no matter where we live, I always want to have two restrooms. A restroom for me and a restroom for everybody else.
That's so kind of you.
Right? Because I'm like, dude, I do not want to put you through what my body does. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Matches. Get a box of matches.
Right? And candles and all that good stuff.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. That's so funny. I love how candid you're being. This is awesome.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like part of it, like I just, you know, I love to like talk about all like the stuff, you know, like the life journey and the music parts, but like I just start to like vamp on like these other things that make me laugh, which are bathroom jokes and, you know, just this is going to be me the whole time we're talking.
That's so cool, man. Come on. That's reality. That's life. That's life. Oh, man. Okay. I'm like all distracted now. Okay.
Yeah,
so let's get back to it. All right.
Okay.
So you're on the road with Kia Stewart.
Yeah.
And then how long did you do that stint?
I mean, I don't think it was that long. It was like, you know, on and off. Like we did a couple different tours, maybe like a year. We did Warped Tour, which was absolute hell. Like,
but hold on for the listeners who don't understand, because let's face it, a lot of quote unquote aspiring or hopeful career musicians think, oh, the Warped Tour is the shit. If I can get to a tour like the Warped Tour, then I'll have made it.
Yo,
Please tell us. Tell us from firsthand experience.
I mean, it's fun. Yeah, like, because if you went to Warped Tour when you were young and then you perform at Warped Tour, it's fun, like, for a second, right?
Yeah.
But then when you actually are, like, in it and you're having to, like, wake up and haul all of your gear, like, through mud, you know, or, like, crazy heat. It's always across dirt. There's never...
For reals?
If there's cement, it's like, it's a blessing, you know? It's really rough. Solar showers. Like I showered outside.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
So they have, okay, so there's, everything's on a budget, right? So most people aren't loaded and can't just like have their shower in their bus, if they have a bus even, right? Working. Right. So then you can either go to the shower that they like set up for the artists, that's like, just like locker rooms. And it's just like not always hot water. It's really nasty, huge line. So we got this solar shower. It's just a bag of water and you hang it like, between the buses, and you get in your swimsuit and you go out there and you get in there, scrub around. Yeah, but then also...
first of all, that is so gnarly from a hygiene standard, it's so realistic.
Yeah.
This is tour life.
Yeah, and that was actually like, when I discovered the solar shower concept, I enjoyed it more because it was like an actual private sort of, I'm not in line with a bunch of people, so...
Right.
Anyways, moving on from there. Yeah, you're hauling all your stuff to your stage through so many people, and then you play your show. It's super hot. The sound is never, how are you supposed to make the sound great when it's like, how many stages? I don't even know. So many stages, all very close to each other.
Yeah, Warped Tour, I would be curious to look that up to see how many stages it is.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's just it's super long. We only did half of it. Yeah, it's everybody at the end of it was like, never again. Nope.
Really?
Like our crew, our band was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I will say this, that the Warped Tour has broken so many bands and artists. Like brought them to the forefront,
yes.
Don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. Which is great. Like it's another outlet, which is awesome. Right. Some people tour on it over and over and over,
Right.
But it's just kind of, I guess, whatever your scene is. Like, some people are obsessed and love it,
Right. So let me ask you this while we're on this subject. What are some of your tour essentials? So let's do the duality. So the dichotomy of, because I know you've done both, and I fucking love you for this. First of all, I have to say, I commend you. Kudos to you. I respect you for the fact that you are the epitome of a true career musician. You have a manager. You understand how business works, okay? And you understand the positive, like, upper echelon side of touring, and you also understand the grit and grind of the mud tours, right?
Yeah.
What are some of your tour essentials? Whether it's gear or peripherals or packing and traveling tips, whatever it is, you're going to go on tour. You're going to go out for the next, let's say you're going to go out for 3 months. Tell us how you prepare.
Okay, so my initial step is minimalism.
Amen. Yes. You get it. See?
Yeah, minimalist.
Yes, we have to be minimalists.
Yeah, yeah. Because, oh my God, all the amount of, I have to say, I am spoiled out of my mind now. So,
of course you are, because you're with
If
Panic.
I have too much to carry, someone sweet is going to run up and help me, because they're all amazing. But, at the same time, when there's not somebody that'll help you carry your shit down from your hotel room, right? You got to be able to
You mean when there's no bag call? Right?
Yes.
Yo, I gotta tell you, I did a couple tours and they were like, yeah, bag call. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love bag call, because it's like the night before. And for the people who don't know, we gotta break this down. Come on, break down bag call for me.
Okay, well, for me, it's literally just... I sound like
you
such
love
an
bag
asshole.
call. You know you
I sound
do.
like such a dick. If anybody knows who Zach is, from the Panic group, it's literally just him coming to my room. He's kindly texting me, when are you free to answer your door?
He's so sweet.
And then he just shows up and he just takes my bag.
And he takes your bag.
And it disappears, and then I see it somewhere when I need it.
And the next morning when you have to go to bus call, all you have to do is take your little backpack, and you don't have to take anything else.
And we still
Isn't that
complain.
amazing?
We still complain, though. That's what's even worse. Like, you always find something to... Oh, God.
Seriously, how much do you love bag call?
I love it. I love bag
So
call.
do I.
Yes. It's heaven.
So for those who don't know what bad call is, let's continue breaking it down.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's just like when beautiful Zach shows up at my hotel room door and like collects my stuff for me. And that's usually like, so I'm kind of I love to just have my bass with me all the time. And I kind of feel like it's not annoying to some people, but it's like, Nicole and her bass again, just like she has to have it. It's like this huge piece of extra luggage. But yeah, so he'll like take all of that stuff all at once. And he's this giant man. He just like grabs it all and he's like, bye. He like walks away with it. And then it's all where I need it after.
That's amazing. So Zach is your tour manager?
No. He's
or what is
he's
tell us.
I guess road manager, but he's like he does so many things.
Right.
I can't even really explain him. Yeah.
Right. So can you break that down for some of the people who might not be aware of how the hierarchy works on the road? Because like we were talking about, we have tour managers, we have road managers, we have production managers, we have,
oh my God, honestly, you might do a better job of explaining this than me because I still send like the wrong things to the wrong people sometimes. I know tour manager is like the savior. That's like
Amen.
That's kind of what I've taken away from the whole thing. Not that like anybody else's jobs are less important. It's just like you need to know some piece of information right now. That's who you're gonna call.
That's right.
They know their shit. Yeah.
For instance, speaking on tour managers, I was in Toronto, I believe, with Natalie Cole about, I would say, 10 years ago. God bless her soul. She's passed since. I had so much joy from that tour. I did 2 years with her. Amazing.
Yeah.
I got deathly ill. We were in Toronto and I came down with a horrible flu and we were staying at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So people think like, oh my gosh, you're a touring musician. Your life is amazing. You have it made. You're rich,
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And the thing is, we work for celebrities and we work for people who are wealthy and who have established that wealth over many years and they've developed their careers, but doesn't mean that we are, so to speak.
Yeah.
So here I am, I'm puking my brains out. I have body chills and all this stuff. I have a terrible flu and I'm at the Four Seasons. So what do you think when you have a flu? You think, okay, I need to take some Tylenol. I need to rest. I need to drink tons of water and I need chicken soup, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But guess what? Chicken soup at the Four Seasons is like $36.
Yeah. No.
So I was freaking out because I couldn't leave my room. I was so ill. I had to order chicken soup. The bill came out to almost $50 for one bowl of chicken soup. And I was like,
I feel you.
Dude, I can't do this. How the hell am I
Yeah.
So my point is, I get on the phone, I call the tour manager, and I'm like, Dara Grimes. I love you, Dara. You're amazing. I don't know if she's listening, but Dara was like, okay, dude, first of all, don't order any more room service chicken soup. She's like, I got you. That's the point. The tour manager knew exactly what to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But, you're going to hate me a little bit. I'm going to tell you something and you're going to hate me kind of. So I have to admit that lately I have kind of sold my soul and I order room service a lot.
Yeah, because you get used to it.
Yeah, so, man, it's
okay. I did the same thing for a while.
I mean, I feel like, you get kind of, it becomes your life. Like when you're on tour for like a long time, you're like, you got to give yourself those moments of like spoils, and that is a spoil. That is a big old spoil, so I definitely do it a lot now, or I was doing it like crazy.
I just typed in my notes, room service, because I can totally relate. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, shit.
All right. That's so awesome. So tell us about, all right. So you were with Kia Stewart and then eventually you somehow or another got into Miley Cyrus and then eventually which led to Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. So
can you tell us about that? Yeah.
It was, let me see, Kaya Stewart. I really hope I don't forget anybody. Where did it go from there? Oh my God, I don't remember. Where did it go from there?
Did I see Ty Dolla $ign on there for a minute?
Troye
What else?
Sivan. Yeah, so
What's that?
I did.
Yeah.
That was like a
one-off?
very short burst. There was like a
Okay,
couple
yeah.
of like Fat Joe and like it's
Sure,
like,
yeah.
yeah, this little
Fat
project.
Joe,
that we were in.
baby. Yeah, everybody loves Fat Joe,
Oh yeah,
man. Come on.
Yes, he's on his live streams all the time. I'm a fan now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Troye Sivan after that, and that was like
That was it.
yeah. So I moved on to that, and that was like much bigger, in my opinion. That was like, that was like my first like real like nice tour bus experience. But still sort of, I mean, all Troye Sivan and then Miley, those are very. It's a very interesting dynamic change between what Panic is compared to those two, because it's when you're a paid musician, like a hired gun, it's like you're there and you're an employee, you're working, and you're on a bus with everybody though at the same time. It's very confusing.
Please expound for the people who don't. I know exactly what you're talking about. For the people who don't, please dig in.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain. It's not like it's a bad thing or like, anybody's like making anybody uncomfortable. It's just like, imagine being at work, but your work friends are like really cool and dope and you can party together, but you're still at work. Do you know what I mean? And you still, no matter like how much fun you guys are having together, you still have to come to work and do your job and just nail it. And you can't, there's no like funny business there. It's not like, you can't like fuck up and be like, like, no.
Dude. Yeah, you can't be like, oh, fuck you, man. And
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Don't fire me. Yeah, it's very.
You can't disrespect your employers, quote unquote.
Yeah. But, it's not like they're putting that in your mind. You're the artist that you're working for, just, having a blast and doing their art, but it's like kind of just the mindset of like a hired gun, I feel like. Right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I did those two things with Miley. I don't even know if I should say this on here, but that was also another say yes kind of a thing, because...
Amen. Do what they ask, right?
Yeah, upright bass was not in my world at that point.
But you crushed it. Come on, you crushed it.
I had like attempted it, but I didn't like own my own, so I wasn't able to like practice. I wasn't able to like keep strength or anything like that. So I worked on it, and now I'm obsessed with it, and I'm in love with it. So it's, yeah.
I've been checking out your IG. You're crushing the upright bass. That's all I'll say.
Thank you. I
Absolutely.
mean, I'm working with it now. I'm like actually working with it in like more everyday, like, one-off gigs around town, and it feels much more real,
I mean, just the fingering is so different than an electric bass, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
so
wide,
different.
like the distance.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where I first started doing it, and I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? Because like my hands are kind of midgety, Is that like a rude term to use? I didn't mean it like that,
Yeah,
But
I know what you mean.
it just took some time to adjust. And it's funny with all these like new instruments, like picking up the synth and the upright, like I always like kind of really wanted to like be doing those, but I was just always trying to shed the electric, and it just kind of never entered my world, and spending all that money to buy one never crossed my mind either, because I was broke for so long. So
how much did that run you, your first upright?
Well, I paid $3,000, and
okay,
I just really like, got what I could afford at the time.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can go 30,000 easily.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got what I could afford.
I get it. I get it, because I'm the same way with classical guitars and flamenco guitars. You can easily spend 15, 20 grand, you know, but it's how,
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good point. It's a good segue. I think a common misnomer about professional musicians, quote unquote, career musicians, is that, we have all these luxuries and we have so much money because we work with all these celebrities and all this. I think it's actually just the opposite. The reality is that we have to scrimp and save to get the gear that we have.
Yeah.
And then also kind of parlay it into endorsement deals, etc. Which, by the way, you're amazing because you have worked that angle brilliantly.
Have I?
Talk about it. First of all, you look amazing on all of your Fender promos and your other promos. It's so dope. The pictures that they capture and what you're doing for the brand is dope. So talk about that. I know we just shifted gears, but...
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a big part of like my whole like journey story actually, but I wasn't really like endorsed by anybody until Fender, and that was like a real endorsement. And that's how I got linked up with Panic, was through Fender.
Really?
My rep, I can't remember exactly who he was with, but he was like having lunch with somebody from the Panic team, and they were saying that they were having a bass player change, and they needed somebody, and he recommended me. And I was at the laundromat at the time, and they called me, and it just happened like that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Unpack that for us.
Yeah.
Break that down. That's amazing. You were at the laundromat?
I was at the laundromat.
And you get the call?
Well, okay, so first what happened was I was at the laundromat. I got this email, and I was like, huh. And then, no, wait, hold on. Let me back up. The email came first. I was not at the laundromat. Email came first. And this guy I was dating at the time, I like saw it, and I sent a reply. I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And I saw my boyfriend later, and I was like, yeah, I got hit up to play with Panic. And he was like, what? Like, what the fuck, Nicole? Why aren't you freaking out?
That's huge, yeah.
And then, I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. It's really cool. But, as a musician, like in this world, like I don't get excited about anything until it's like
That's
done
right.
and I'm doing it, right? So then I was at the laundromat, and I got the call, and they just, we were just chatting, and they set up like I'm just going off into a whole nother direction, not answering your question, but... No,
please. I love this because I have some ideas. Please tell me.
Okay. Yeah. So,
tell us.
And then, I'm so used to like auditions, right?
Right.
But, when I got there, I was like, should I bring my bass in? It was like an invite, like come to Brendan's house and you're going to meet with the band. So I was like, okay, audition.
Brendan Urie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lead singer, the founder of Panic. Yeah. That's a huge deal, Nicole.
I mean, yeah. It's just, I feel like if you let yourself, like I wanted to be able to like bond with them like people though, and I feel like if you get a big hit, like start getting excited thinking like these, he's like a superstar, or like this might change my life forever, like doing something really huge like this, you can kind of step away from yourself, your like natural resting state personality, right? And I don't know, I was, I try to keep calm in most situations like that. So, I went over there, and I asked Zach, I'm like, should I get my bass out of my car? I brought it. And he was like, nah, just leave it.
Chill first. Yeah. Just be totally human. Yeah.
So maybe maybe I'm exaggerating, but I want to say about like 5 hours later, because the sun was like going down by this point, I was extremely intoxicated, and I like, wasn't sure what the day was. I was like, should I leave? Like, am I overstaying my welcome? And they were like, what? No. Like, we're here to hang. We're just hanging the whole day. And then finally we got in the studio and just kind of like jammed through some of their tunes, but it wasn't really like, it did not feel like an audition at all. It just kind of felt like just a jam. Hey, this is Nicole Row with Panic at the Disco, and you're listening to the Career Musician Podcast with one of my favorite humans, Nomad.
Want to learn more about a particular topic? Tag @TheCareerMusician and use #CareerMusician to let us know what you'd like to hear.
Empowering musicians with solutions for a sustainable career in the music industry. Subscribe and leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
All right, let's be real. Can you talk about the psychology of that? Because you said a couple things that I think people who might be listening from other parts of the world who don't understand
Okay.
because they haven't been exposed.
Okay.
And when I say they don't understand, it's no fault of their own. It's just because they haven't been exposed to this.
Oh, yeah. I see where you're going.
Scenario. I know, our colleagues and peers and friends know because we've been here in the scene, quote unquote. First of all, number one, remember, you're in the mecca of the celebrity status music scene, Los Angeles. So we have to take that into consideration. We can't take that for granted.
Yeah.
Number two, you said something, you alluded to, I didn't want to be, over the top. I don't want to treat this person as if they're, you know what I mean? You want to be chill.
Yeah. And
So break that down.
I find, when people react and we're reacting at the time kind of like, holy shit, like, why aren't you freaking out? It's just sort of like something I've come to realize. I think maybe just working, like, same for you, like, when everybody who's, working with people who to other people around the world are like, oh my God, like, this person's on TV and, like, whatever, all the time. We're all just people. Literally everyone. We're all literally the same.
We're human, that's right.
We just do different things, so I've just kind of like come to this point of just being like, first of all, like, this gig might not be mine, right? Like, I don't know.
The reality,
we're all here to hang and meet each other and see what's up, right? And we're all just people who have gone different directions, so it's no reason to, like, get all worked up. Does that answer kind of what you wanted?
No, that's perfect. So
Yeah.
so your inner dialogue was telling you, okay, this is cool. I'm just going to go with the flow, And now, how many years were you in LA when this happened, when this transpired?
Like 8 years, maybe.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So I want people to understand that 8 days, if you landed in LA and then 8 days later you're meeting with a superstar about being in their band,
Yes.
that might be a serious mind fuck.
Yes.
Right?
Oh God, I would have been a mess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But 8 years allowed you to get conditioned to the concept of what this is.
Yeah.
And I want listeners to understand that. So I don't care if you're 16, 17, 18, or if you're 20 through 25, or if you're 40, and your only goal is to come to LA and quote unquote make it as a
No.
professional musician, right?
Yeah, I don't like that phrase.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to break down to people.
Yeah.
Is that you have to zoom out in a way, right? You zoom out and you look at it as if you weren't in the eye of the hurricane, but you were a spectator, and you say, oh, I see. So Brendan is a human being. Nicole is a human being. Zach is a human being. And we're all coming together to try to perpetuate the same goal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
So you have to kind of quote unquote take a chill pill.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, it's also just, I feel like being a musician too, you kind of, I didn't like come to LA to like make it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I never really had that like in my head. And, I just like playing music. And even if that's like, I never had a plan. It was like, I was already happy, and there wasn't really like an end goal. I mean, obviously the issue for musicians of like financial instability is huge,
Huge, especially in these times, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like, even in regular times.
Right. It's
issue.
almost no different, right?
Yeah.
From pandemic to regular times, it's all the same shit,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like that might be why there's so many musicians that I know that are just kind of like handling it, because they're like, okay, well, I kind of feel this way all the time anyway. There's just so much uncertainty in my life.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. So, what was I even talking about now? Now I'm just lost.
Well, the psychology behind it. And,
Yeah.
Because and you have to understand, I'm sorry, Nicole, do you mind if I ask, how old are you now?
Yeah, I'm 28.
28. Okay. Well, you came out
adult.
here when you were 18, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a good 10 years. You're still so young, and you've accomplished so much. And I respect that. And I just want to tell you, like I've told you earlier, kudos to you. I am so happy for you and your successes. I just want those who might be listening to try to understand the psychology behind how all this transpires.
Yeah. Because I mean, even, it's super funny to me because like doing things like this even, or like you saying that to me feels kind of funny to me because like there's so many other bass players out there that are like a gazillion times more successful in my eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it, like for me, like what I want is to be really rad on my bass. Like I want to be able to talk, to you through my bass. Like that's what I want. And nothing else really like defines me. I don't think. And like even like the guys from Panic would be like, yeah, that's Nicole. Like, cause I always have my bass with me. I'm always practicing. Like I just always have my like travel rig with me. You know what I mean? Like
and they respect that about you. They do.
I hope so.
They do. No, the fact that they do, trust me, they look at you and like, oh my gosh, that's Nicole. She's amazing. She's our bass player. We're proud to call her a band member. You know what I mean? Like they look on that and they smile.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I can guarantee it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's just kind of also like, I feel like a psychological twist to it. Like for other people who aren't kind of in our world to kind of see they're like they, I feel like I get talked to sometimes like I'm doing, I don't want to say this without sounding like weird, but I get talked to like that, like the way you're talking to me. And there's almost a part of me that's like, oh, I don't necessarily deserve that. And it's not like in this like self-shaming way. It's just like in my mind, all I care about is like my instrument and that musical thing that I can do. You know what I mean? And in my mind, I'm still on my journey there, hard,
Well, the greats, Beethoven, Mozart, Jaco, Miles, have always said that they've never arrived, that they're always on the journey. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the key here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
it's for everybody. Everybody should feel that way, and not in a bad way. Just that's what we are as people. Like, it's in our like genetic makeup is to like always be progressing and changing and be better. And that's why we're always, as a group, as humans, we're always evolving and getting.
That's right.
Our heads are getting bigger.
I mean, if you think about Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
Or Eckhart Tolle, it's the same premise.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, moving along, because I could sit here and shower you with accolades all day and I don't mean that. It's not BS. Listen, Jack knows me. Jack Pyatt is the guy who put us in touch.
I know, he's
from Jam
the
Card.
best.
And Jack knows I'm not a bullshitter, so I truly mean it. Everything I say is sincere. And I'm a Cuban Italian from New York. Come on. I speak the truth.
Oh my God. Even when it hurts.
Right. So let's shift gears a little bit. So let's talk about when you're on the road, when you're out there with Panic or Miley or whomever.
Yeah.
How the hell do you stay healthy? Talk about health and lifestyle.
Okay. So I'm sure all my friends, if they're watching this, they're like cracking up because I come from, my dad's a bodybuilder.
What? That's cool.
Yeah. And I've just kind of always been like, when we were really little, he was like, the whole family was on a strict diet of like unseasoned chicken, vegetables, a carbohydrate, like we had scheduled meals every day.
That's cool.
Not allowed to have candy. Like my mom would take us to the store and like buy candy and like not tell anyone.
I think that is amazing.
So I'm like, I have it drilled inside me to be like rigid, like work out and stay healthy. I cheat like crazy. I drink beer, obviously, and I eat candy now. But I'm also like doing my best to be a vegan, and which on the road is impossible, but I do my best.
I know, it's tough.
But yeah, so on tour, the struggle for me is going to bed way later than I normally would, right? Sleeping on a bus, so not sleeping through the night necessarily, unless I overload on melatonin. And then alcohol, because like, come on.
I'm sorry, hold on. Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. So yeah, actually I have a fun story. So on tour with Panic, the horn players are really, really into fitness, right?
Oh, good.
So we would get up and either try to find a gym that would let us get in for free, or one person would have like a gym in the area where they could get us like a coupon and we could all like try to haggle somebody to get in for free. Or we would work out like in a patch of like hallway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do anything to work out. Sometimes there was a gym, you know, in like these big places. So every day, work out. Every day.
Love it.
Yeah. And then diet obviously has to be super, super healthy.
Love it. What about psychological health on tour?
It's a bigger one.
Yeah, it is tough, isn't it?
I don't even know how to tackle that. Just like in life, like for tour.
I mean, because you're traversing the globe.
Mm-hmm.
You can find yourself in Europe or Asia or the African continent at the flick of a switch.
Yeah.
Or anywhere in North and South America. It's tough.
Yeah.
And
I
you're,
mean,
and somehow or another, you're always alone, quote unquote. You're not alone, but you are,
you're
right?
never alone, but it's a very confusing thing. I mean, it depends on what the day is for sure. Like for me, my big thing is, like I really love, especially on off days, to just spend those days mostly alone, you know, like getting up, and I love to go out into the world and like find breakfast. If it's not room service, go out and find breakfast. I love
breakfast.
Yeah. But alone,
especially at like 6, 7 a.m., right?
Like a quiet, like no, you're not with anyone, right? And you're just having your
cool.
coffee and you're just looking. And sometimes you're in some weird country and you don't speak the language and you're just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But they all eat breakfast, right? You're like, oh my gosh, everywhere around the globe we eat breakfast.
This is what we share. We share breakfast.
Coffee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm a freak for coffee. So finding solo time, I practice, like, I feel like that helps my psyche so much, just like sitting and being quiet and just playing, you know? But then also, you know, you're with these people a lot, and I feel like it's good to almost have real quality time with people too. You know what I mean? Because you're like working together all the time and you're always in the green room together, but everybody's doing their own thing. So like, you know, we'd have like these outings, like, which wouldn't always go to everything, but when we all go out and like just rage and like go in or have an amazing meal together or something, it's like, it's good to like have a little bit of everything. And that always helps me, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah.
The camaraderie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, like you said, the solo time.
Yeah. Yeah, just as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So when you're not on tour, I've seen you. You're at Capitol Records. You're at East West
like,
Studios. You're hustling your hiney off. You're doing sessions, right? Like we all do as musicians.
Yeah, like everybody.
I call it the New York Shuffle, the LA Hustle, or the New York Hustle and the LA Shuffle. Doesn't matter. We're all doing the same.
Yeah.
Talk about when you're not on tour. How do you connect the dots? How do you make the bills connect?
I mean, well, there's the whole like slow bleed of like coming off tour and then like coming into real life. Not real life, I guess just local life is the right term.
I know exactly what you mean, yes.
Yeah. And, you know, you can do that one of two ways, which is give yourself a break because, you know, you're exhausted. Or you're like me and you panic just before you panic. Sorry. Just
Quote,
before
unquote,
you
panic, all puns intended.
I'm sorry. Right before you get home and you try to book a bunch of crap. And then
Yeah.
you're like exhausted.
Because you're thinking, oh shit, I got money this month, but what about next month?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm kind of like that. Like I say I'm going to take the break and then I never do. You know, I start like making sure I have things booked and letting people know I'm coming back and just hit the ground running, you know. So, but I don't know.
What's your definition of hitting the ground running?
I mean, I definitely come home and sleep for like a day. And then right after that, my mind is like, go, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. Yeah. Immediately.
I think the older I got, I sleep for 2 days.
Right? I know. I love to believe that the next one I'll be like, life is short, like chill. I know that's not going to happen. I know it's not. Yeah.
That's the hustler mentality
Yeah.
intrinsically built in us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, when you do some of the big sessions, talk about studio etiquette. Like, I know for me, I cut my teeth in Nashville in the big studios. So I've worked at Ocean Way or Sony, or all the big studios in Nashville on Music Row and et cetera. And then when I came out here, I was well prepared. So that way I knew how to conduct myself in a studio session. Talk about that, especially, I think, as a lot of younger musicians aren't hip to the protocols.
Yeah. I mean, just like the whole concept of like being prepared. Is that kind of what you're referring to?
Yes. Being prepared and not overstepping boundaries and giving too much opinion, trying to act like, you know, you think you're the producer. No, there's a producer, there's an artist, there's an engineer, you know.
Yeah. So I never really had the issue of being known to like, you know, overstep my bounds, basically. I've never really done that, I don't think. But I'm also very shy. I'm a shy person. So my whole concept of like when I go into a place is like, you're just like, you know, you be creative and you do your thing because someone's having you come in because they like what you do, right? But you're also like a portal to like what they hear and want too. So you have to be able to like channel yourself and then also like merge that with what they want. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, and then like just like you have to like still be an artist and be creative, but also like be able to understand people and music in a way. Yeah, and you're never the boss when you go into that thing. Just because you play the instrument, you know, you can be sent home and someone else can be brought in just like that, you know? So
right?
Yeah.
Like if you're in a session with Greg Wells and he's the producer, you're like, oh shit. Like, okay, whatever Greg says goes, right?
Yes. Yeah. Like, okay, sorry.
And for those of you who don't know who Greg Wells is, look him up.
Oh God. I mean, but I kind of find in the bigger things, I really love that because it's so much more fluid. Like you go in, everything's just like planned and prepared and perfect. There's never really an issue. You just go in and it's like you're there for a very short amount of time. You go and you do your thing and then you're done. Whereas like the smaller sessions, which are beautiful in their own way, are like the more where you have more of more control sometimes, I feel.
Yeah.
And it's more fluid as like, oh, what are you hearing? Just play that, you know, and then you're in there for a little bit longer generally because I feel like it's more of a creative process.
That's right.
Yeah, but always just manners, preparedness.
Preparedness. Amen to that. Yes.
So.
Yeah. I remember the first time I went to Henson Studios in Hollywood. Have you tracked there at Henson?
No.
So do you remember the Muppets, the Muppet Show?
Oh, yeah.
So Jim Henson is the creator of the Muppets, and he has a studio over in Hollywood. So it's called the Henson Studios. So the first time I was called the Henson Studios, it was with Randy Jackson, the producer who also was the judge on. And it was a blast. And I remember going in, and you have to clear security for parking and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know how that is. Yeah. So when you get into a big, quote unquote, a big session like that, there is a hierarchy. And you kind of, like you just said, you have to respect the process, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically
But then
it.
again, there's the independent sessions or the indie sessions where it's more like, hey, me and a bunch of my buddies are going in, we're recording an album for my friend, and it's a little bit more lax and you don't feel so, I don't want to say tension, but you don't feel so tense, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. It's just kind of a like throw some shit at the wall sometimes, you know, and see what sticks. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I love those.
Tell us about your sessions at Capitol Records. I mean, Capitol Records is the quintessential recording studio in LA.
Yeah. So I remember like walking up and being like, because the building's tall, right? Looking up, like, holy shit.
I saw your pictures out front. They
Oh
look
yeah,
great.
I did that. I did that cheesy thing. I was like, Mike.
That's awesome.
I like yelled
You're
at the guitar
supposed
player.
to. Hey, Nathan East still does it. When he records at Capitol, he's like, hey, Nathan East here at Capitol. Just wanted to say hello. You know, come on, you're supposed
Hi, Mom.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
tell us about that. And who are you with over at Capitol?
I mean, that was with Panic. So that was for Frozen. Yeah.
Frozen 2, which, by the way,
Yeah.
my wife and I freaking love.
I have to tell you something.
So excited.
I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't seen Frozen 2 yet.
Oh, my gosh. But we love the song. We love the movie.
Yeah.
We love everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was for that. And it went by so fast. I wished
Yeah.
it could have been longer, but that's kind of
Yeah.
how they work. You know, they have everything planned like perfectly. You get there was no struggle to get in. You know, I just pulled up and somebody was like, "Oh, here." Like park anywhere, right?
You're Nicole Row with Panic.
No,
We
not because
love
I'm
you.
Nicole. It's just like they know what they're doing. It's like they know what car I'm coming in, you know.
That's right.
So
Preparedness. You said
Yeah.
it. Preparedness.
yeah. So you go in and, you know, I want to say Zach was like waiting for me at the gate to bag check me.
But hold on. See, come on. For the people who don't understand how this works, elaborate on that. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Isn't
so
it a great feeling?
I'm in my car and I'm like probably talking to my mom beforehand and I'm listening to the radio. And I'm in my car that breaks down, like it's not reliable. Zach actually replaced the radio in it recently. It's there's a lawsuit. I have some paperwork here to check out because it's possibly a lemon. Yeah. Anyways,
Oh, man.
so I'm driving in my bad car. I pull up to this. I'd never been there before. I pulled up and I was like, oh shit, like I'm about to go in there and record. And, pull in, the security guard is just kind of like, Zach is standing next to the security guard and he's just like, she's cool. Like one of those. And I pull in, they let me park and I get my bass and Zach takes it on his shoulder and he just kind of escorts me in and I'm just like,
Don't
oh,
you love
man.
Zach?
I
love Zach. I don't even know Zach. I fucking love him.
Exactly. Yeah. Their whole
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's these people, man. That whole crew is just ridiculous. Like insanely. Like everybody's a family. Anyways, yeah. So you go in. I walked in and everybody was sitting there patiently. Like, okay, it's Nicole's turn. Hi, Nicole. Sit down.
Yeah.
Plug in. Okay. Play.
You sound good. Yeah. Test.
So
Signal test. Isn't that nerve-wracking?
just like play something. Let's go.
Yeah. Just play.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your sound. Play something.
Oh shit. Now, did you plug in through an amp or just a DI box or both?
Direct. Yeah. DI.
And do you remember the signal path that you guys used?
Oh, God, no. It's all just like, I just sat down at a chair. I'm talking
Yeah.
to the band who's all there. They've all done their parts already. No. I don't remember what parts.
Sure.
Over. But anyways, yeah, so I'm sitting there and like, we actually went in and did BGVs. I got there. We went in the room first. Yeah. And all stood in a circle and did BGVs. And that was just like, that was super fun. Just a bunch of
Isn't that
screaming.
fun?
Yeah.
Tell the people who don't know what BGV stands
Oh, I'm sorry.
for. What is that?
Background vocals.
Yes.
Harmonies.
BGVs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So layering your voices on top of each other.
Love it. And you're standing around a Neumann microphone or, a Telefunken in
There
a
was
circle.
so many mics in one area. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like just because there was like maybe like 8 of us in a circle,
Nice.
all
Nice.
singing. Yeah, and went in, did the bass thing, and then we did like a couple like little changes, and that was it. It was so fast,
So awesome.
Boom,
How
done.
long were you there, do you think?
Less than an hour.
Really?
Yeah. It was
That's a
crazy.
quick session. That's a
Yeah.
super fast session.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
So guys, everybody who's listening, if you don't know what a recording session is like, an hour in and out is amazingly fast. Typically, the average recording session is anywhere from 3 to 4 hours. And then, of course, an all-day session is a 12-hour. Like when we book studios, we say, oh, yeah, I'm going to book a day. Well, that means from like 10 in the morning to at least 10 at night or maybe even 2 a.m. You're talking about booking 12, 14, or 16-hour sessions a day.
Hustling.
That's normal.
Yeah, no sunlight. Yeah, you're just in
Right.
there doing it, knocking it out. But this was also, this was one song, but still, I still
that's super
kind of wish it would have
fast.
been longer. Yeah.
What did you do after the session when you left? You're pulling out of Capitol. What did you do next?
I was like, I can't stay and like hang out, but they were like, okay, you can go. And I was just like,
Aw, man.
I guess I could like go to the grocery store. Like what? Like, I don't even know what I did. I walked out with the guitar player and we both were just kind of like standing in front of the building for a minute. And I was like, should we take each other's pictures? Like, we need to like absorb this.
Yeah, you should take the pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, so we took pictures.
Did you guys go get some food or something? What did you do?
No, we just went our separate ways in a fog of like, did that just
man.
happen kind of a thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I know. I love those moments. They're so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. It's hard to, sometimes like things happen so quickly and you're moving so quickly from thing to thing that you kind of forget to like really take in what you're doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Like a lot of my friends and colleagues say, look, we're not saving lives in music. We're not surgeons. We're not first responders. But because of the notoriety and the celebrity status of the people we work for, a lot of what we do is very, it's high profile, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, again, and the reason why I developed this whole podcast and the whole concept of a career musician is to let people know this is a job.
Yes.
We are not the celebrities. We are not the stars.
Not. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. It's
And it's an interesting thing to wrap your mind around, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's funny for the people that are close to you too.
Right.
Right? Like your loved ones and your friends.
Yeah.
My friends make fun of me all the time, because they know who I am. They know like what I did before that, right?
They know you're a little nerdy Nicole
Yeah.
from around the block. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they like exactly. It just feels I love being around those people because they really just like make you feel normal a little bit. Like when you're dealing with like I get a lot of like messages and like things from these like mostly like young girls who love Panic, right? They, they want to get into music or like something like that. And you just have to remind them that like everybody in the world, like we're all just like, you have this messed up vision of who I am and what other musicians are like.
That's right.
We're really like, honestly, some of the weirdest people. Maybe somebody you don't want to hang out with too. Like, you know what I mean? Some of us are strange. Yeah.
I agree. And we're all susceptible to everything, pandemic or not, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm at home right now. Shit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hey, all right. So let's talk about business acumen. One of the things I really respected about you is that you have a manager. A lot of career musicians don't understand the value of having a manager. Or perhaps they're just not aware. And it's not to any fault of any of their own or anyone else, but they're just not aware. I've always said that the musicians in the music industry are ill represented. They should have management. They should have agents and people representing them. But for some reason, it's a very difficult faction of the industry or corner of the industry that goes unrepresented. Yeah. Tell us about how you developed a relationship with a potential manager and how did that all transpire?
Well, I gotta be honest. I've only had a manager for like 2 weeks.
Okay, well, that's super super awesome of you to share that with us. Yeah. Candid. The word I was looking for was candid. Thank you for being so candid.
Yeah,
but I think it's
truth.
effing amazing. So tell us.
Okay, so I guess if you think about it, I mean, our world, a lot of, I shouldn't say this, but I don't love social media, right? It's not my favorite thing.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I don't think any of us do. But that's
because we want to be practicing our craft.
Yeah, exactly. So I was finding that, especially after Panic and everything, I was kind of struggling to like, I was getting lots of different kinds of inquiries, like requests for work and like, you know, just different kinds of things. And I didn't really know how to handle a lot of it. And I don't know how to, I mean, I guess I do. I shouldn't say I don't know how to negotiate for myself, but I was finding myself in situations where I felt like it would have been nice to have someone else step in and represent me.
That's right.
You know, and give me time to go be creative rather than having to deal with phone calls and emails, right?
That's right.
So I reached out to a couple of friends who I know have managers, and I just got recommended to this person. And I definitely like talked to so many people, you know,
That's
just
right.
to see, because it really has to be, you have to be on the same page, because if you have somebody representing you, you got to know that they're going to be kind to the people you're working with almost, you know?
Be kind, have your best interest at hand,
Yes.
but still be diplomatic with everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be a good, you know, like be good at arguing, but also in a professional way. Does that make
The
sense?
art of negotiation.
Yeah. And I don't have that. So yeah, so that's kind of how I found her. We're still barely getting settled, you know, 2 weeks, but it's like a drastic difference. The amount of different kinds of work that I'm getting now just by having her has really changed. And I feel like I can handle a lot more having somebody
amazing,
else
isn't
sort.
it?
Yeah.
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 I agree. I totally agree. So the lesson there is talk to people, dig around,
Mm-hmm.
ask questions, and just kind of find somebody who
I
you
know
can jibe with.
That's really not like a good answer, because it was really
it's
hard
true.
for me to find. You know, I
Yeah.
actually talked to a couple friends who kind of, you know, it's not really their thing, but they said they would try it for me. And, you know, it just wasn't what I was looking for. I needed somebody really, you know, in the business, because the music industry like is so different from anything else. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly.
And I'm doing the notion because this is an audio podcast.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
doing
sorry.
the little cutthroat
Yeah.
illustration. Yeah, and it's a tough business. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really into, side note, I'm really into traveling, obviously from tour, but traveling like a backpacker. And I made
That's cool.
Yeah, so I made a friend just, you know, through the internet who is like a professional backpacker. And that is a thing. That is a real world, and it's beautiful. Yes.
Wow.
He's a traveler. He, you know, writes, you know, has blogs, all that stuff. And he's also a really great businessman, you know? So like developing himself in this way. So I reached out to him, and he's actually the person who, he knows everyone, knew her, and knew that she was in the music industry, and was like, this person. Yeah.
Wow.
That she's your girl. And like, I tried out so many different people who weren't in the music industry, and she definitely nailed it. So reach out to your friends, even if they're not in music. People know people.
Amen to that. I love that. That is great advice. Seriously, great advice. I think that goes back to the whole concept of just network, talk to everybody.
Exactly.
Just be friendly to everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, people are amazing and interesting, and you know, you never know what you're going to find. My dog is begging to get up, so I'm going to pick him up. If that doesn't
Go
bother
for
you.
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good boy.
Oh, what a cutie. What's his name?
His name is Taco.
Taco.
Oh yeah, he's 15 and he has no teeth.
Aw.
And he has bad eyesight and bad hearing.
Nicole, how do you deal with having a dog while you go out on tour?
I have an awesome friend and roommate.
Okay.
Who I've actually is a beautiful part of my life story. I've lived with her for like 6 or 7 years now.
That's awesome.
She's my like best friend. She has a little dog too, and anytime I go on tour, she happily takes care of Taco for me.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Taco.
She's actually, I'll really quickly touch on this. I was living, after I graduated from MI, I was living in this apartment with a bunch of young men, That is a kind way of putting it.
Very, very kind of you to put it that way.
And I was like sleeping on a couch there, right? That was my
rough,
room,
yeah.
and all my stuff was in my in like the hallway closet. And my roommate now came to a house party that we were having there, and she was like, "Where's your room?" And I like jokingly opened my closet door, which was like a walk-in closet in the hallway. And my dog he doesn't like to be around like all the party, right? So he was in there with the light on and water, and like it wasn't, I love him. He was safe. But she saw that and immediately looked at me and she goes, "You need to move in with me."
That's awesome.
Yeah. So ever since then, I had no money. She let me pay like next to nothing. She really like helped me get on my feet, actually, like right at the beginning of it all. So she introduced me to Frank Abraham.
Frank Abraham, that's right. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So I bet you we know a lot of the same people around town in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
That's so awesome. Well, obviously Jack Pyatt is the one who connected us. So he's a degree of separation just by one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, this has been fantastic, Nicole. Really, thank you for sharing all of this information with us.
Of course.
Any final words of wisdom, again, for anybody who really desires to be a professional musician, as I call a career musician? Any words of wisdom that you would want to tell them?
I mean, I guess I would kind of want to relate this to a lot of the people I've been talking to through social media who are young and reaching out and asking, like, saying their parents don't support them, and they feel like they have to like reach this end goal.
That's tough, yeah.
To feel like they can justify doing it. But like, even like everybody I know who plays music is, I mean, outside of the instability, they're happy, and I've met so many people who, look at what I'm doing and what all my friends are doing, and, they're like lawyers, and they're like, man, if I could have done it differently, I would have done what you guys are doing, And I think that like holds a lot of weight.
That's cool.
Yeah, life is short, just fuck it, just do it.
So live out your passions.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome. All right. Do you mind if we do some rapid fire questions just for fun?
Yeah. Do I have to
All
just
right, no
answer like
thinking.
super quick? Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah, no thinking. Just first thing that comes to mind.
Wait, let me take a sip.
Take a sip. I think I'm out, but we'll sip together. Here we go.
Okay. It's good.
Perfect.
Warm beer.
Awesome. All right. Favorite food?
Oh God. This is unfair. Vegan enchiladas. Sorry, I just made them. I just made them recently.
Okay, what the hell is a vegan enchilada? First of all.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's this company that I just discovered. I'm not representing them.
What?
It's like, so you're just using these like makeshift tortillas that you have to buy all this crap at Whole Foods. Like, I'm being bougie, okay? This isn't just like something you can find somewhere. It's like vegan nacho cheese with like vegan enchilada sauce, and like these really healthy like almond flour tortillas.
All right. Hold on. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
When you're on tour.
Oh, on tour.
And you're in the middle of
breakfast.
Whatever.
Breakfast.
Okay. So what do you
always.
Breakfast, and what's your favorite breakfast order? Now remember, you're in Texas, you're in Oklahoma, you're in Arizona. You can't just order fancy stuff. What do you order?
So this is a struggle because I try my best to be vegan. But if it has nothing to do with that, I'm like a huge eggs and toast fan. Just like put the scrambled eggs like on the toast.
Oh yeah.
And then just like lift it up to your mouth and like it all falls off everywhere, but you still just try to eat it.
Like a makeshift breakfast sandwich. Yeah.
It's just like my childhood. It's like this wonderful like thing, It's beautiful.
Love that. Now you're foregoing the bacon though. You're not doing the bacon.
Well, yeah, not anymore. Like that's really like off the deep end for me right now. I'm trying to break it down from the animal meat.
All right, but if I was sitting across the table from you and I was eating bacon, eggs, and toast, would you be like, "Oh my gosh, that looks so amazing"?
Oh, of course.
Okay. All
Sausage.
Right. So,
Like, of
all right,
course.
you know what? We know you're not an alien now.
No,
At least you're human.
No, it's more of just like I'm doing my best. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do my best for the planet, for these animals, for my body. It's not because I don't like it, you know. And I'm
That's
not like
awesome,
I don't
right.
shame anyone for eating meat. Like I know. Yeah.
So my wife yesterday, she goes, "You know what, babe? I want sausage for breakfast, sausage and eggs." And some toast. And I was like, all right, babe, I got it. Because I'm the breakfast maker in our house, you know?
Yeah, same.
My daughter and my wife know it. So I'm like, I look at her and I say, no, don't take one sausage package out. Take 2. And she goes, what? You want me to take 2 out of the freezer?
You said it like that, like with that tone. Take 2.
Yeah, take 2 packages. Live dangerously.
Quarantine.
Exactly, right?
Exciting moments in
Quarantine. What the hell?
You got to really get out there.
All right, next. Favorite libation?
Well, I go through phases. Right now it's whiskey. Just like neat, you know?
Whiskey neat, yes.
Yeah. But before that, it was martinis. And lots of them. Lots and lots and lots of them.
Was it like like a vodka martini or a gin martini?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, vodka martini.
And did you like it dirty with the olive juice?
At first I did. Really, really dirty. And then super dry after that. I went,
Wow.
I'm constantly changing and growing.
I love it. Favorite sport?
To play soccer.
Are you good?
I used to be. Yeah, when I was
Wow.
younger, but haven't played in, God, I don't know how long. I'm probably not good anymore.
Nice. Okay, assuming you have any of it, how do you spend your free time?
Outside. Yeah. Well, now it's sort of questionable, but like swimming, I'm obsessed with the beach. Like any body of water, I'm in it. Hiking, nice. I now have a bike. I love riding that thing around. Just like anything outdoors, I'm very happy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. On long flights, we've all been on these long ass flights, whether it's 4 hours or 6 hours across the country or 16 hours or 28 hours across the globe. Mm-hmm. How do you spend your time on the long flights? Okay. So I always bring an eye mask, earplugs, like foam ones, and then also noise canceling headphones. Yes. And what else? Melatonin. Did I say that? Yeah, that's good. Which is a natural sleep enhancer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a naturally occurring thing in your body. I'm not a crazy partier. Right. What else? Obviously, like if I need it, I'll download. I don't like to have like a laptop necessarily, but I will like bring a charging cube because you never know. You know what I mean? Charging cube, cable. Have things downloaded onto my phone to watch. So you don't have an iPad to watch stuff? You use your phone? I just love to. I'm minimalist. I love to have like the least amount of things. Smart. You know what I mean? Smart. I say that I try to read, but it's really just. I know. I never end up doing it on the flight. I'm so with you on that. Anytime I read, I fall asleep. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And you're trying to fight sleep, right? You like have to either be fighting it or forcing it. Right. Yeah. And I use Netflix and all the movie stuff to help me fall asleep. Yes. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Speaking of which, the latest song by a band or artist that you listened to that you did not work on. You didn't play on it. You don't perform with this band or artist, etc. I just was listening to, actually right before we logged on here, Agatha. How do you say his last name? Cifre? It's like French or something. I'm sure not hip. Tell us. It's, I can't play it for you. Can I play it for you? Can you spell it? Oh, yeah. It's just I Got The. That's what the song's called. Labi, last name Siffre. That's some shit right there. Jack knows him, actually. Yeah. Poet, songwriter, singer, musician. He's just... I can't wait to jam with you. So good. Just the shoulder, I can't stop. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
All right. Wow. Okay, we went off in the deep end there. Okay, favorite TV show or a movie that you've been streaming lately?
Oh my God, I have a weird addiction to reruns of The Office right now.
You're the second person who's told me that in the past few weeks.
Really? Okay, then yeah. But I mean, it's just like, I crack up. Like I will just squeal, laugh. I just think it's so funny. I just love that like easy humor. Like, you know, it's just like nice.
That is so awesome. Yeah. Hey, that's a classic show.
Yeah.
Okay. When we weren't in pandemic self-isolation crisis.
Oh yeah.
Shopping online or brick and mortar? Which do you prefer?
Well, yeah, before quarantine, I was like super shopping online, but that also came from being on tour. I kind of like got into this mess of doing that because I was always like, oh, I need this for the house. And I would send something home or have it
Any
sent to wherever I
favorite
was.
brands or outlets?
Oh, you mean for like clothing?
Or anything. I don't care. Whatever it is.
You know, I'm not really like a big, I'm not like a huge shopper. You know, as far as like, I try to be like a minimalist as much as I can, you know? I love all the girl stores if I'm like buying clothes, you know, but it's not that consistent. I love saving. So buying things is like you better need it.
Man, I keep bringing it back, but my wife Lola, she's the same way. She loves to save. And you know what? It's an amazing trait. If you are frugal, that is one of the best traits.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It gives you peace. Really.
It does. I'm the opposite. When
like
I was on
free.
tour, I was like, aside from that little chicken soup room, I was like, she would be like, did you get room service? I'm like, no, babe, I didn't get room service. Oh, okay, maybe I did.
Oh God.
Yeah, I can't stop playing this little funk groove that you just turned me on to.
It's like, I love sitting down and jamming along with that song, and it changes.
Yeah.
Like that's not all of what it is. It changes.
It starts
into these
there and evolves.
other. Oh, it's such a good song, and it's long.
Awesome.
I feel like it's really long, but
Love that.
yeah.
All right, dream collaboration, living or deceased, doesn't matter.
I mean, I've always had this. So I have this like super intense love for Erykah Badu. I love her so much, and I love her music. I love watching her interviews. I think she's rad.
I could see you playing with her.
I would love that. Call me Erykah.
Nicole, you have been so awesome. We appreciate all of your insight and wisdom and experience and just cool personality. If you couldn't be a career musician, if you weren't a career musician, what would you be doing, do you think?
I just answered this question the other day to somebody. I would actually be a backpacker.
Oh, you said that. Yeah, I
would
that.
definitely 100% like be barefoot all the time, just backpack on, you know, just like bumming it, like traveling the world. So still traveling, just dirtier, you know. That's
all right, just dirtier.
Just like busking on the street.
Not with your Zach.
No. Oh. We'd still be friends though. Zach and I would still be friends.
Of course. That's awesome. All right, I love that. Man, Nicole, you are truly an inspiration to so many. Once again, look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm 20 years your senior. I'm almost 48. Okay.
Good job.
And thank you. And you are 28. And I just want to tell you, you're doing it right, kid.
Thank you.
You
I love still being called kid.
Down.
I love that. Now I feel like I just have so much more to go.
That's right. You do. Because you know what? 20 years ago, I was on tour with and in the studios with, they were calling me kid. And they encouraged me. And I remember when I was in high school, some of the teachers I was working with, I went to a performing arts high school to study music. And they would tell me, you know what, kid? You got this. Keep it up and you're going to be successful. And that's my words to you.
Hell
you
yeah.
got this.
All right. It's okay. Thank you.
And guess what? You're already crushing it.
My little brother is a classical. Now he's studying classical guitar.
Oh,
and
what?
It's so funny to watch him. He's like, I totally thought he was going to go into like computers because he was like building computers in his room. He's like just one of those incredible brain
Yeah.
type people. But he's always played, of course, because like, you know, he's my older brother and me, like, you know, he's just always seen instruments, right? So he just like plays so many instruments, and I had no idea what he was going to choose. And all of a sudden he's just like, he did a performance for my family on Zoom the other day, and I was just like watching like, holy like this kid is gonna be like a legend. Like he's nuts. And I know that I'm biased, but like it's just really cool to watch all these generations of like.
So Nicole, where can we find you online?
Okay, so this is where I struggle. Let me pull up all my I have this on a thing right here for you. Okay, Instagram. Do you want me to tell like all my handles and stuff like that?
Go for it. I mean, I'm gonna put it in the notes section, but yeah, sure.
Okay, well, I'll just say, you know, I have a website, NicoleRow.com.
Hold on, NicoleRow.com, and it's just Nicole ROW.
Yeah, which is weird because everything else is Nicole S. Row. I was able to get the website.
But your website is kick-ass. And some of those photos, guys and gals, go check out her website. Some of those photos are amazing.
Right now,
They're amazing.
Thank you. That's kudos to Jake Chams. And yeah, Instagram, the website, on Twitter. So everything else is Nicole S. Row.
Okay.
Facebook is Nicole Row Music. I really need to just narrow it down to one. I'm sorry. I also have a YouTube feed, obviously, like everybody else in the world. Yeah, I'm doing my best to really maintain my online like stuff and like make sure I put videos and stuff on there. It's hard for me. I am just me and technology. I don't know.
I think it's hard for everybody. It is an all-consuming process. It's not easy. You know, speaking from experience, it takes a lot of time and dedication, but you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Before we close, you have your in-ears in, you have your bass strapped on. There's 40, 50, 60,000 people screaming. You're getting ready to walk on stage. What's that feeling like?
Let me like put a different image in your head. I'm standing on a riser that is below ground, and I'm slowly being lifted onto stage, holding still. It's like the most exhilarating feeling. It's so fun, right? Because all these like people are seeing your head just kind of come out of the ground, and they start screaming, and you're just like, okay, like all the thoughts. Because you know we do a shot right before we go on stage, that starts to kick in, and then you hear the click, right? And that's like the exciting moment. I think click has like a whole new meaning for me.
That's right.
Right? So it's, fuck yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting.
What's the first note you play?
F.
G, F? Okay.
F. I had to like close my eyes.
Are you playing a low F on the first fret? Or are you playing, or a high F, a low F?
Low F.
And what key is the song in, the first song?
E flat.
E flat. And you're starting on the second. Do you start, see, look at you, you're going right into the groove. I love it. So, again, for all the musicians out there who don't know what it's like, how do you cope with that? What's the next thing you do?
That's true. Like, you have to be, like, prepared. You're thinking about so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not tripping.
Not tripping.
Not tripping. I'm wearing these huge shoes, and I'm, you know, like...
Literally not tripping.
Also, not getting my hair caught in my hands as I'm playing. Like, that's a real fucking thing, too.
Not, you have long hair, yeah.
Not getting, like, not only the music itself, like, playing your part, yeah. Like, that's just a given. Like, you play your part right. You sing your harmonies and play your funky bass parts at the same time, too. Good luck. And then also don't get lipstick on the microphone, because when you do the trade with the guitar player, he doesn't want lipstick on his face. So
how awesome is that?
It's fucking hilarious.
But when you walk off stage, who's there? Zach, right?
Oh, always Zach. And well, Maddie is there. Maddie is the bass tech. He's
is the what?
Bass tech.
Oh, of course you're bass tech.
God, bass techs.
Thank God for techs.
It's just like the most intense blessing I've ever had in my life is Maddie Ensley.
Nicole, you're living the dream, and we are here to support you and cheer you on.
It's crazy. It's super fun.
Like I always say, rock and roll, R&B, and everything else in between.
Yeah.
You're the best, Nicole. Take care.
You too. All right. See ya.
You're listening to the Career Musician Podcast by Nomad, empowering musicians with strategies for a sustainable career.
Subscribe to the brand new Career Musician YouTube channel, now streaming all of the Career Musician Podcast episodes.
Your value is not determined by the gig. Learn more by listening to the Career Musician Podcast, streaming everywhere.
The Career Musician Facebook group encourages musicians to share both their victories and trials with one another. Join the conversation at the Career Musician Facebook group today.
I'm just a nomad, nowhere man, writing the songs in this one-man band. A nomad, yeah, I'm a nomad, Hush now, darling, you'll be fine. I'll be back this way sometime. Until then, baby, don't you cry, 'cause I'll be calling.
Hey, this is Nomad, host and creator of the Career Musician Podcast, and I am thoroughly stoked to be an official member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Pantheon Podcast Network is the first of its kind as an all-music-based podcast collective. Please be sure to check us out at pantheonpodcast.com for more info.